Hey folks, this is Dan O'Sullivan and Michael Wildman with our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, October the 3rd. We've had some changes in the weather. Things are starting to cool off and the fishing is getting better. So let's go to our different lakes with our friends and guides and tell you what's happening here in our area. All right, everybody, this is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, September the 3rd. We're going to head downriver to Josh Herron, our friend from Reaction Innovations and our local pro staff guy. Josh, tell me what's going on at Logan Martin these days.
Man, weather's really cooling off. Fishing's starting to really fire. Hopefully, here over the next few weeks, it'll continue to get even better. Spinnerbait, square bills, stuff like that are still working really well. Moving in, we're going to start getting into more schooling fish like flukes, stick baits, walking baits, stuff like that. And it's going really good.
So in recent past, it's been kind of spotted bass out on the main channel, grass, rocky stuff, and then largemouth still kind of moving into the pockets and stuff. Are you still seeing that kind of trend out there on Logan Martin?
Yeah, absolutely. Water should start falling, I believe, this week. So you're going to start seeing that winter drawdown, which it sounds dumb, but it really makes those largemouth start playing. It makes them a lot more predictable. It puts them on like obvious structure that you can go down the bank and just have fun and just fish visible cover.
Are we looking at a lot of numbers, or are we looking at more quality kind of fish right now?
You're fixing to start getting off the numbers and more on quality.
Okay, well, let's talk about Lay Lake. I know that's kind of a little bit further downstream and maybe a little bit further along in the pattern here. But what's going on down there at Lay Lake?
Man, Logan's actually fishing stronger than Lay. The ABT really showed that. Current flow still seems to be one of the driving factors on Lay. It hadn't cooled down enough to really set those fish into a full-blown fall transition, but it should be coming over the next few weeks.
Okay, so what kind of patterns were you seeing? What kind of did the most damage there at the Lay Lake tournament there at Alabama Bass Trail?
Spotted bass in the current up the river.
So swim baits?
Yeah, swim baits, scroungers, spinner baits, jigs, stuff like that.
So if you were going to be going up there to Logan Martin or Lay Lake yourself, what would you be throwing?
Man, I primarily still a largemouth fisherman, but I'm a full believer in the rise and grind, go catch five, and just see where you land.
Sounds like the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. Sounds like you like to go after one or two bites here or there and really do some damage on the big bites. Is that what we can expect from Josh Herron?
That is what you can always expect from me.
Well, Josh, as always, we appreciate the time that you spend with us, and we're looking forward to seeing you as you come up to get yourself a new toy today.
Exactly. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, and thanks for spending some time with us on the Bucks Island Area Fishing Report presented by Mercury. Thank you.
Thanks. You guys have a good day.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report on Saturday, September the 3rd. Hey, we've got Lee Pitts, our good friend from Weiss Lake. Lee, tell us what's been going on out there at Weiss.
Man, I'll tell you what, I've had a bird's eye view, I guess you'd say. I've been here at the house a little bit, but talking to a lot of the guys that come by, seeing a lot more activity on the water, a lot of bait fish coming up in the pockets. And like I said, early in the mornings, you can see if you've got a wad of bait fish coming up, it won't be long before something busts the party up. I mean, so they're starting to chase, starting to get that time of year that we're all looking forward to. So, man, I tell you, I'm seeing a lot of action up here. Seeing, a lot of guys catching fish. The size is still yet to come, but we're catching a lot more fish now than what we were.
So you've had the ability to see things and talk to people, like you said. It seems like the bite is starting to progress more into the shallows and a little bit more aggressive patterns. What are you seeing?
Yeah, back in the pockets, a lot of these pockets that may have a little gravel bottoms or some chunk rock or something that the fish can kind of pick out a little ambush point. But also with me looking right here on the river itself, water's getting down. You're starting to see some little bare spots. But I'm seeing a lot of activity in the morning, fish busting top, running through balls of shad, just right off the edge of the river channel, probably that 3 to 4 foot of water before it falls in. Like I said, I got a good view right here. I'm right on the main Coosa, but you can look up and down, and there's a lot of activity going on. So that tells me fish are really starting to bite better and starting to feed up.
So we're looking at buzzbaits, topwater, some square bills, some of those kinds of things. And I'm assuming the bite at Neely Henry's been kind of the same. I know that We've seen the weights have been down a little bit, but with the Coosa River Team Trail coming next week, we're sure the guys are going to be practicing. What would you be counseling them to do this week?
You know, just like what you just said there, there's another thing too with the spinnerbait bite. The spinnerbait bite is really turned on, but what a lot of guys are kind of forgetting about, they're still wanting to pick up that big mainframe, you know, big floppy spinnerbait that they threw in March. Need to downsize a little bit right now. The bait's small, those smaller baits. I know a lot of guys are getting bit on a pop-R, quarter-ounce buzz baits. You can still throw a 3/8 frame, but just drop those blade sizes down. You know, throw a double willa. They don't want anything real aggressive. They want something scooting out of there that they can kind of chase down. But and another thing too, down at Neely, you know, the crappie are really starting to do a little something down there. I can't wait to get back down there and get on to it. A lot of guys are starting to pick up some numbers of crappie. Another thing, you know, not just with a loft there where you guys are with all the bass gear that you got. Hey, they love us crappie fishermen too, man. So anything that you need in the crappie line, go down there and stock your freezers. Go to the loft. They've got everything you need from your Bobby Garlands to you know, your Strike King products, to anything that you need for crappie. They got it down there too.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us today, Lee, and we will talk to you soon, brother.
All right, man. Hey, I'm glad to be back out.
All right, everybody, we're back. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, October the 3rd. We're going to head up to Lake Guntersville with our friend Tom Ott. Tom, I know you haven't been able to get out there and run that Mercury because of your shoulder repair, but I know you're staying in touch with what's going on in the Elite Series of tournament up there, and I know you stay in touch with the fishery as a whole. So tell me what's going on at Guntersville.
Well, I'll tell you, Dano, it's been a little tough here lately. I think evident by the elite weights that we've been seeing. But those fish are definitely moving up shallow. The flipping bite's certainly coming on. I think there's a big Spro tournament coming up today. It's going to be tough on these fellas today. I think we're going to see some low weights and a frog sense. But if you can get out there and do some flipping, that's really where the best bite's going to be. I think the spinner baits, chatter baits, square bills, that bite's really picked up on the shallow side. But, again, it's cold front. And these Florida strain largemouth are going to react a lot different than a northern strain when we see these deep, hard, cold fronts in the south. Even only it being 40 degrees, but you get those high bluebird skies, you know how tough that can make fishing.
Yeah, it's not been – I know we're getting the cooler weather, and that's starting to move the fish, but it still seems like the fish are buried up. I've noticed a lot of anglers, Ed Lager and a Bass Cat Pro out of Virginia, and other guys are talking about flipping bites, and it seems like the grass is playing a big key. I've seen creature baits like the D-bomb and some of those other kind of things going on. Is that the kind of pattern that you would be running if you were out there right now?
Absolutely. You know, it really seems like the eelgrass isn't playing as big a part right now as is the hydrilla, the milfoil, the naiad that we're seeing. Those grasses seem to be where the fish are really buried up. You know, they're in there. They've got food coming to them, so that's what we need to do is flip that bait in there and get them to eat it.
Yeah, the current has picked up a little bit all over the region, and I know that will play a role over there, but you're also seeing some stuff with docks as well with the current running across those. What kind of targets would you be playing around there? What kind of things would you be using? Would you go more hard baits around the docks? Is that what you'd be doing?
I think right now those moving baits, you know, a small buzz bait. I really like a small 1/8 ounce buzz bait. It sounds kind of strange, but you can get some huge fish on that. Around those docks, you get some of that bare area. I think those buzz baits are going to play a big part there. And of course, flipping. I mean, I'm a big jig guy, so flipping a jig under there is definitely going to produce some good bites.
So let's turn a little bit to crappie fishing. It's starting to cool off. What kind of areas might you see for the crappie anglers that want to get out there and experience a little bit of filling their freezer action?
Well, you know, they're going to start congregating up under those bridges and those bridge pilings and those kind of things. So around those rock causeways, that's where those crappie are going to really start to congregate because that's where your bait's going to be. So that's where I would definitely start, but there's still going to be some that are moving in and out of the grass as well in that 8 to 10 foot range.
Well, Tom, thanks again for spending so much time with you. We will talk to you again soon.
All right, Dano. Good to see you guys.
All right, everybody. Well, that'll wrap it up here for us at Bucks Island with our area fishing report for Saturday, October the 3rd, presented by Mercury. Don't forget, like, subscribe, mash that button for notifications. That way you can keep up with us as we launch these things every week. That's it for us, for Michael Wildman and myself here at Bucks Island. Thanks for spending some time with us. Wait, let me do that one more.